The comet's shadow, the brief and brilliant reign of Pharaoh Kamosi. The air in Thebes was thick with incense and the murmur of 1,000 secrets, but none were as volatile as the life of Pharaoh Kamosi. He was crowned at the unprecedented age of 14, a boy king whose eyes held the same restless energy as the mighty Nile in flood season. Unlike his methodical, long-reigning forefathers, Kamosi was a creature of impulse and excess. His court was a spectacle of opulent chaos, where tradition dictated a serene, carefully ordered royal household. Kamosi's palace felt like a perpetual, lavish festival. He began his day not with the sunrise prayers to Ra, but often at noon, emerging from his chambers in a different color of linen each time, surrounded by an ever-changing entourage of musicians, foreign dignitaries, and petitioners. His pursuit of pleasure was as sudden and intense as a desert storm. He married not for political alliance first, but for fleeting fascination. His harem was a bewildering tapestry of lineages. The daughters of powerful nomarchs jostled for influence with women captured from distant Libyan tribes, and even a skilled Syrian dancer whose beauty had captivated him during a single performance. The resulting household was a nest of intrigue and sporadic outbursts, only to be recalled on a whim a month later. The sheer number of his wives and concubines, estimated at close to 80 by the time he was 19, meant his children were countless, their lineage tangled, and the line of succession a terrifying, unsupported knot. His governance mirrored his personal life. He would commission a monumental temple dedicated to a minor desert deity one month, only to abandon the project a month later to finance an ill-conceived military campaign into Nubia. Then forget the war entirely to spend his treasury on a fleet of gilded barges for a single, celebratory sail downriver. His pronouncements were notoriously unpredictable. Scribes, desperate to record his decrees, would wait days outside his chambers, only for Kamosi to emerge, revoke every previous order, and then decree that all the palace cats should be adorned with gold collars. The priests of Amun, keepers of the cosmic order of Mayat, watched in growing horror. They saw Kamosi as an affront to stability, a king whose very existence threatened to unbalance the two lands. Rumors circulated that a celestial sign had accompanied his birth, not the auspicious rising of Sothis, but the fleeting, malevolent tail of a comet, a shadow of ill omen. It was this very chaos that ended him. One evening, on the eve of his 20th birthday, Kamosi hosted a celebratory feast that was rumored to be his most extravagant yet. The air in the vast hall was suffocatingly warm, thick with the scent of jasmine, roasted goose, and expensive wine. His wives, adorned in their finest jewels, sat rigidly at various tables, their glances darting like venomous snakes. The pharaoh was in high spirits, drinking deeply and challenging the strongest of his bodyguards to wrestling matches. Then abruptly he staggered. His laughter turned into a choking cough. He clutched his side, his face typically flushed with wine and youth, suddenly turning a sickly pale green under the torchlight. Within the hour, the great Pharaoh Kamosi was dead. The official cause, dictated by the frantic vizier, was a sudden violent fever, a swift visitation of the gods. But the circumstances were far more mysterious and charged. Did the wine he so carelessly drank, poured from an ornate jar by an unseen servant, contain more than fermentation? Had one of his scorned wives, desperate to secure her own son a chance at the throne, acted with calculated malice? Was it a power play by a coalition of high priests and disgruntled nomarchs, unable to tolerate the sporadic madness that had overtaken the kingdom? Or had his own reckless diet and relentless indulgence simply overwhelmed his young body? No official inquiry was ever launched. The vizier, desperate to prevent a civil war over the chaotic succession, ordered the burial rites to be performed with unprecedented haste. Kamosi was entombed in a small, hastily prepared tomb, his treasures stacked around him. But the peace of his burial was a flimsy disguise. His incredibly short reign, less than 6 years, had been a brilliant flash of disorder, ending in a chilling silence. He was a pharaoh who had lived without order and died without a clear explanation, leaving behind only the terrifying silence of an unanswered question and the terrifying void of a kingdom reeling from its sudden loss of its chaotic young son. Do you want to explore the theory about which of his many wives might have been responsible, or how the priests of Amun reacted to his sudden death?